Alright, YouTube. I've been letting them fly, a lot of short videos, but this one might not be as short. I'm going to try to make most of them short, but this one might not be as short. So what I want to talk about is us blacks. Yep, us blacks. And some of the little evil things that we do to each other that other races benefit from us being this way. Like, you ever notice, like, have you ever worked at a place with mostly blacks and it was just as much, if not more, mess than if you worked and you was the only black? I mean, think about this for a minute, y'all. Think about this. Think about this. Like, for instance, I got a situation with mine that I'm just trying to figure out a mistake that was made. It almost seemed intentional to me because the people that made the mistake, right, they already knew what was going on. Like, they already knew what the numbers should have looked like, but they still made the mistake, you know what I mean? And it almost, to me, it seems intentional because I look at their other behaviors. Like, you ever know, like, when somebody has like a bad tone with you and like they always trying to rush through the conversation with you. First of all, me personally, I think it's pure ignorance not to like somebody that you don't even know. You could say, I don't like this about them, or I don't like that about them. But if you don't know them, look how fast he going. I knew he was going to run it. Then how can you say, I don't like this person? And we all done it. But sometimes I be thinking back, like I'll try to give people the benefit of the doubt, like, I don't even know this person like that to be saying whether or not I like them, you know? But we do it all the time. And that's what's hurting us as a group, is that we have some of the harshest attitudes and behaviors towards each other. You got dudes that they'll say stuff like, well, I only mess with black women. I only want the sisters, right? They'll say that, right? But they want all the sisters, including the ones that's married, including the ones that's in relationship. Now, if you're a reasonable person, you know that that's not right for you to have sex with some dude's wife and some of these dudes be C-U-M-ing in their mouth and then let them go home like nothing happened. Don't you understand that those type of behaviors are hurting the group? Because what happens is, if you do that to somebody's wife or somebody's baby mama and she likes it, she's gonna become a problem somehow, some way for that guy, that other guy. And you say, I don't care, I don't give a F. Yep. Your lack of tradition, your lack of culture is, when you add other people's lack of tradition and lack of culture to yours, it equals destruction. It equals destruction. And you ain't gonna, if I know somebody else's wife, I can't deal with them even if I like them. No, they off limits. Because to me, I'm gonna show you how I think. I think I'm being less of a man by settling for some chick that want to mistreat some other dude. That's all she doing. She could try to play the victim all she want. If she's doing, if she over on the side with me or you, she mistreating some dude, she ain't gonna tell him she did it. She ain't gonna tell him. 9 times out of 10, these women ain't gonna say nothing. They just gonna become a problem. Nothing is gonna be good enough for them. And when that happens, you know that some other dude is either in her ear or in her butt. One or the other, or both. And then these dudes had the audacity to say stuff like, and don't be having sex with him either. You mine. You just with him for the kids, remember? Oh, I'm just with him for the kids. Yeah, but if them kids seeing, kids kids might not have the most strongest instinct, but sometimes they can tell when something ain't right. They could tell. So that just with the kid, that don't work no more. Because what happens is, I'm gonna tell you, you go tell the average woman that you just with her for the kids. I'm finna show you something. And she ain't gonna go for it. The average woman ain't gonna wanna deal with you because she's still in the picture. Whereas with men, these little punks, chumps, busters, douchebag, moron, dweebs, imbeciles, I'm gonna put the white slang on you. They'll go right along with it. And they'll get her pregnant and let her say it's yours. And I want you to know, all those things are killing, destroying us as a group. Look at the divorce rate amongst us blacks. Least married, most divorced. You know what that tells me? Somebody fooling around. That's what that tells me. Dude, if either you gonna practice polygyny or you gonna practice monogamy, but you can't do both. Dudes be out here trying to do both. They got side chicks, but they lying. Okay, you know what that shows me? A lack of confidence in yourself. If she ain't good enough to be the only one, then why are you even making her believe she is? That says a lot about you. See, that's the difference between a pimp and a Mac or a player. The real players, they gonna get them to accept each other. The real Macs, the real pimp, they gonna get them women to accept each other. The fake ones, they gonna lie. See, yeah, I was a fake player back in the 90s. I had all them chicks thinking they was the only one. And it was, hey, listen, when I tell you about the 90s, I'm gonna tell you some of the things that changed. In the 90s, you rarely saw dudes painting their nails. In the 90s, you rarely saw dudes with tight pants on. In the 90s, these women, they were looking for more out of a man. Like it wasn't just a money thing. Like they was more willing to team up too. And it seemed like a lot of them, and this is my observation, this is my opinion. White women have always been gold diggers. Black women have become gold diggers since social media. Like somebody posted on Facebook a clip of some woman with all her demands, right? And I said, it's always the had ones that had the most demands. Where the virgins at? The real ones, the ones that ain't nobody ever even squeezed their butt. Cause if any dude stuck his finger up there, you're not a virgin. These women will do all type of stuff and then still try to say they virgin because they believe that virgin has to do with only penetration. And then some of them, they know they done got penetrated. They just don't. The dude left them alone, or something happened, so they don't want to count them. When they know they told him, just you can rub it on there, and he put it through there and was pumping, and they were moaning and groaning. And then when he left them alone, now they want to act like he ain't did nothing when he did. How many of them is doing that? Then you got women just talking about, well, if he had a condom on, it don't count. That's that weird stuff, man. He still jacked you up, jacked your stuff up. But amongst us, a lot of these things have contributed greatly to what we see. We see foreigners on all our neighborhoods with businesses. And then we see the same people that support their business be talking about, well, they too high. Okay, so $6 milk ain't high in the Midwest? People with $6 milk, that ain't high? I guarantee you a lot of these ninjas will not buy no $6 milk from another black person. But they'll buy it from them Indians, though. They'll buy it from them Middle Easterners, though. It's too high. They store smell funny. This. But they don't have all those qualifications for other races, though. And that's hurting us, too. Your qualifications for other races should be higher, and my qualification for other races should be higher than my qualification for us. Because we still the big N in their eyes. And I'm not talking about nasty. Maybe that's the case too. But we the big N with the double G and emergency room on the end. In most of their eyes. And y'all can't see that. Y'all scratching and clawing each other. We should learn how to be like ants instead of like rats. Again, let me say that again. Us foundational Black Americans, whatever you want to call it, us who ancestors were slaves, were natives that became slaves, we should be more like ants. But every neighborhood where it's a bunch of us, stolen cars, shooting. Who you think you helping by shooting other black? You think these white folks care that y'all block is against another block? They'll let y'all wipe each other out, and then they'll come jogging up the street in your neighborhood 10 years later. They done took over your neighborhood. Ain't that what's happening in Detroit? Them white folks moving in, getting them cheap houses, turning it into suburb. What y'all doing? Still shooting at each other. You think you beefing, talking about you got ops, and your ops is the same in the same struggle as you, viewed by other races the same as you, but them your ops though, and you can't see it. They don't want you to see it. They gonna keep producing, paying these dudes millions of dollars, fronting these dudes a lifestyle, letting them rent Lamborghinis and this, for you not to see what I'm saying. And y'all view them as heroes. They heroes. Going around showing you that it's cool to be at odds with each other. But they heroes though. You buying their music. You making them feel like what they doing is okay. It's okay for them to talk about they ops and I'm really like that. Okay, you say you like that. Okay, who are you helping by being like that? I'm really like that. You saying you like a killer or something. Look at. See, this is what I tell you about them. They ain't all that, man. I'm telling you, and I'm not one that has a hateful attitude towards any race. Y'all act like these other people is all that. These people are capitalizing on our errors. Have y'all not noticed that a lot of them try to be like us? In some way, shape, or form? Like this was crazy about some of these other races of people, right? They want to be like us and despise us and act like we the scum of the earth at the same time. They try to dance like us. They try to play basketball like us. Look at all the NBA draft was yesterday. Look at all the people that went the highest. It's not all black players no more. It's foreign players, it's white players. Listen, man. If you ever wake up, you gonna see that people is people. And if it ever happen in the U.S. that we, the ones with money, watch how they do. See, they fine as long as we broke. And that's just a fact. All these races. They fine as long as we broke. They cool with us. They don't notice how they don't do nothing to build up the inner cities. Cause they cool. That makes them who they are. Y'all not warriors. How are you a warrior attacking your own, those who are viewed the same as you? Now I could see in self-defense. And matter of fact, so what we talking about the ways where we destroying ourselves and we benefiting the other races. You think you being cool by dropping out of school? Okay, so if you ever wake up and come to your senses and see that crime is only gonna get you locked up, and you ain't bettering yourself, you ain't developing no skills that you can use, it's okay. It's perfectly normal, smart, and fine for you to want to work for yourself. But if you doing it to the detriment of others who are viewed the same as you, as nobodies, as half humans, as trouble. A lot of time we don't even gotta be doing nothing. We go on the scene with all of them and they act like we finna start something. We could just be trying to get a plate or watch a movie and sometimes they right. A lot of y'all do. We gotta carry ourselves more dignified. Look, man, I'm gonna tell you like this. I can't say everything that I would say on YouTube. But things need to be done. Things need to be done. About our youngsters, man, I'm dealing with the young people who understand. The ones that don't, they in the way. You're not finna keep stealing cars and doing all this stuff. Eventually, it's gonna be enough of us that's gonna come to our senses and see that you are holding us back. Some of y'all is holding us back because you don't want to do nothing. You don't want to be nothing. I make all this money working in those type of facilities, correctional facilities, because in part, we gonna frequent them. put me out of a job, I would go right home like, man, you know, the world is really getting better. And I would come up with another plan. But y'all dudes still think crime is cool. They still think that I'm Uncle Ruckus because white folks can't throw me in their jail unless they lie on me. I ain't out here committing no crime. They would have to literally make some stuff up or go back on some old stuff that they not gonna be able to prove to get me. And why can't you be like me? That's the thing about college, right? When I was at Jackson State, I noticed something. That a lot of those guys, yeah, we was still doing some of the same stuff, but they was in them books. The majority. Like a couple guys in our little group had 3-point averages, was messing with the women, they smoking weed, doing everything, but they still graduated. They told me I was talking to somebody, he was telling me all the people that graduated. I said, wow, that's good. I didn't, because I was just on something else. And when I got home, I just proved it. I wasn't focused. You're supposed to have fun and focus mixed in one when you're in college, not just fun. I'm all like that all night. Another thing that's hurting us. Okay. A lot of our women are choosing alternative lifestyles. For what? Where are you getting this from? No, I mean, you could do whatever you want, but I'm saying, like, where are you getting these ideas from? Because if your parents had these same ideas, you probably wouldn't be here. And then you got others that you into that life. Like, you want to be on the stripper pole, tooting coke. Who gonna want you? Then you gotta lie to guys to get them to be in a relationship with you. And they find out what you was doing and they don't even want you. Don't do it. Young women, don't do. You should be a nerd. Stay in the house with your feet curled up like this. You know how they laying on their stomach, reading books, playing in your hair, watching TV. Tight vag. Keep it tight. And when you get somebody, he's a man, you're a woman, submit to him, follow his lead, help him. Don't be argumentative. Don't be trying to fight him. Don't be trying to cheat on him. If you with him, you with him. And just be that way. Y'all want to come with 4 different baby daddy. And he come home and he got to look at these ninjas. And they looking at him all crazy in his own house. Like, man, get out of here, man. That's how stuff be getting started. That's the kind of chaos that we allowing and we keep cultivating amongst us as a group. It's bringing destruction. How are you 16? You ain't got a pot to piss in or a window to throw it out, and your parents trying to keep their window to throw it out. And now you want them to watch your kids, so now when they off of work, they got to deal with your kids instead of having fun and having a good time being off from work. You inconsiderate. You need to get your ish together. Any girl that's 16, 15, you should be on birth control. And taking it faithfully. And making them wear a condom or not even having sex. You too young. You still gotta finish school yourself. What y'all should do is get your mind right spiritually. Go to school. Every girl should be you should be in school. Even if you want to have your own business. Okay. Get that on the side. If you do hair on the side. Get you a degree in something else. Do hair on the side. And then once you got that degree, go get a degree doing hair, cosmetology, what do they call it? Before you have any kids. Stay on birth control the whole time. Straight out of high school. If you have to, go to school in a whole nother state. Still be on birth control. If you got losers all in your city, these dudes, man, I watch them all day talking all this stuff. You can't help them. You can't help her locked up. The cause is recorded, so you can't be Frank Lucas. I don't know about in the facility we in, the cause is recorded. These dudes think the answer for everything is crime. How is it that other people can come over here without crime and get rich, but you think the only way you can get rich is crime? It's hurting us as a group. Then people die, gunned down in the street. We already a low percent of the population, getting lower. Because some of us are waking up like, man, I ain't finna have no babies with these chicks. That's going to be a detriment. For one, these chicks should have their lives in order to the point where we wouldn't have to say that, oh, I'm not having no kid. I'm not having no kid. Then you got others that's gonna have kids and be in prison. And you have yet others that's gonna have kids and die in the streets. And all of them is rubbing their hands together. All these other races rubbing their hands together saying, yes, sir. Man, don't y'all know they would try to take us out if we became something? Look what happened in Black Wall Street. But these are some of the things and some of the reasons why we at the bottom. We ain't getting nowhere. Then we had a nerve, the audacity not to buy from each other. My thing is this. I'm not going in harm's way to get something from your business, but if you got something in a reasonable spot, I'm going to eventually frequent. Just because I feel like I should be helping. I mean, if I can buy products from all these other races of people, why not buy them from my own race? Those who call it that big N, just like me, by those who don't like us. But anyway, I could keep talking about this at length. I'm going to close this out. I got to take care of something. Upload all these videos and more. Stay tuned. Make sure you're hitting the like button on those. Make sure you're supporting the channel. Make sure you're supporting the channel no matter how great, how small. Make sure you're supporting the channel if you believe in what we doing over here. We being me. And you. Support it. Thanks for watching. Keep tuning in for more videos.